Hello everyone, welcome back to David at Go To Hobbies. Right, what I'm going to do today is fix the wife's coffee table. And what she's done is she's had one of the legs come off, and it fixes to a leg with a screw, and unfortunately it's come unstuck. So what do you need to do? First of all, get yourself a lens wipe. Clean that surface, clean underneath the table where this sticks. It's basically like a double-sided tape or a sticky pad. But there is a way of fixing this, and I'll show you in a minute. And it's quite easy and simple. But if you don't know how to fix one of these sticky pads underneath your table, here's the answer. Right, so bear with. Right, here's the coffee table, and obviously this is attached to this with one of these. Now, as I said, it's easier fixed. Get yourself a lens wipe. That's dried out. I can still see a little bit of a mark there, but actually it says I've already cleaned it. I'm just going to run through the process. So get your lens wipe, wipe underneath, get all the residue off. You don't have to scrub it. All you're trying to do is make it a clean surface. So it basically, when you put the super glue onto it, it doesn't drop off again. And obviously give this a wipe over. But if you notice, let me just try and point it out to you. Just here, there's a mark. If you can see that, there's a mark on there. Yeah, just about pick it up on the camera, just there. All right, that is called butterfingers. See if I can retrieve it without too much problem. Bear with. See, accidents happen. Now, what you want to do is align that with a mark on there, so it's there. And what we'll do is just do a dry run, and we'll place that underneath there. We've got the outlines like a curve there, so what we're going to try and do is get that in the position so it marries up. So that's like that. And all we're going to do is put a couple drops of super glue on there. All right, we'll have about 30 seconds before it goes solid. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to drop a couple of pieces of super glue on here. All right, we'll go 1, 2. That's all we need, no more. Got a bit of time, so there's no need to rush. Make sure your top's back on. Right, so when we marry it up, we try to get it in the position where it was. But remember, the screw hole has got to basically, and if you turn it and lay it on its side, that is going to move. So we want that in almost exactly the same position it was. So we press it on like that, and we hold it. 1, count to 30, and then while that's doing that, right, just keep our hands steady. And the time I've finished making this short conversation with you, that'll be stuck to it. So that's all it takes really. It's just a couple drops of super glue once you've cleaned the surface for it to stay put. But once it's dry, after I finish talking to you, I'll take my hand away and we'll put the bolt through that leg and screw it back on. The reason why it's super glue is because it's clear. You could use a clear adhesive, but it's going to take longer to go off. And what you want to do is make sure that the super glue is dry before you take your hands away. Okay? And you don't want to move your hands once it's in the position. As I say, all you need is a couple drops, no more, otherwise it'll lose out the side. And you can see it's filled that area almost completely. And I'll say another 10 seconds and I'll be happy to take my hands away. But it's just a case of not moving your hands, keeping them in a position, keeping a firm pressure on it, and make sure when you put it in position, it's aligned to the best you can get it. There we go. I'll leave that for a few more seconds before I actually decide to screw that bolt in. The reason why I'm doing that is so it has a chance. I think I'll put a bit more pressure on there. So it's actually sets. Super glue will go off within about 30 seconds. If it's a warm day, it will take less time. If it's a cold day, it takes longer. So ideally, you want to do this sort of thing in a room temperature, 60 degrees above. Today is probably about 70, so it's ideal. But it's about 21°C, something like that. Now, what I'm going to do next now is dry. I'm going to move my dog off my lap, which you can't see out of camera. Now, we'll put the split washer on first, and then we'll put the other washer on second. And then what we'll do, if it's worked the way I want it to go, all we do is just basically make sure that's holes there, and just tighten it up when you can get the thread to bite. That's probably the fiddliest bit. So bear with me for a second while I just pause the camera. Right, it's screwed under. I'll give it at least another 15 minutes to set solid before I start really tightening that up. As you can see, it's on there, and I'm happy with that. And that's how you fix a glass table pad back underneath the glass table. So hopefully, you know, this little video will help you fix your glass tabletop if it becomes unstuck. I've done this probably about twice now to different pads on the table, and it works every time. They never come unstuck, but I think the original pads will come unstuck because obviously it just happens, unfortunately. Anyway, if you like the video, please like, share and subscribe. Leave a comment down below what you think, and if you've had problems yourself, hopefully this little fix will give you an easy answer. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.